Hello, my name is Rachel and I love crafting, and I am so excited for today's video. This company reached out to me on both Instagram and of course through my YouTube email and asked me if I would be willing to do a video in exchange for a free button badge pin maker. Now you guys might remember a few months back, maybe even a year back at this point, I don't even remember how long ago that was, I had actually did an unboxing and showed you a button maker that I had purchased off of Amazon. That one was the 1.25 inch, and previous to that I'd also purchased a 1 inch, but that was before I ever started making YouTube videos. So I currently have two button makers. I have a 1 inch and a 1.25 inch, and I have been eyeing the 2.25 inch for like a couple of months now. And I've come close to buying it a few times, and I'm so glad I didn't, because this one that they sent me, it has a 1 inch, a 1.25 inch, and a 2.25 inch mold. So the one machine has all three molds. Like the ones that I currently have, I did end up with two different styles, and you can buy the different molds for them, but the molds are always as much as just buying the whole machine, which is, and then when you buy the whole machine, you also get like the button parts. So buying the whole machine has always been a better deal than just buying the molds. So that's why I have these two machines, and they are, here's one of the old ones. This is the very first one I bought before I started doing YouTube. This is the 1 inch. They're huge. Look at that. They're gigantic. So they take up a lot of room. So the fact that the one that they sent me will replace the two that I currently have, plus give me that third one that I wanted, I'm so excited about this. So let me get this box. We're going to unbox it. There's probably going to be a little bit of assembly, and then we're going to go into Craft Vision, and we're going to try all three molds and make buttons with all three molds. And I of course am going to be putting an Amazon associate link for this exact item down in the description box below. Here is the box. This box came in a larger Amazon box. And let's open this up. And because it was Amazon, they got it to me super fast. They just asked me if I would be willing to do this like a couple of days ago, and it's already here. Okay, so right here on top, see, this is all the button parts. And this looks like these are the same button parts that my current two machines use, so that's good. I'll be able to use, looks like they give you extra things too. Huh. I'm gonna have to go through all this and figure all this out, but this is the type of things that I have lots of these already from the other two machines and the other two sizes, but this is, I guess, all three sizes, and there's so many. Get this off the top. Right. Oh, look, these things are, I don't know if you can tell, but these, the 2.5 inch ones are huge. I'm so excited. So of course they give you two Allen wrenches. There's a tiny packet of screws. Oh, and one of the Allen wrenches is a Phillips screwdriver, so they even provide the screwdriver. Now these are the little cutters, and they give them to you for all three sizes, but I actually don't use these. I use hole punches, but the thing with the hole punches is unless you buy incredibly expensive custom made ones specifically for badge making, they're just a little bit smaller than what you need, because for example, this is the 1 3/4 inch. So this is the 1 3/4 inch is the one that works for the 1.25 inch button maker, because of course the circle has to be larger. But what you really need, or you're supposed to really need, is just a little bit larger than the 1 3/4 inch, and then the same for my 1 inch, the 1.31. Actually, this is a 1.313. I think this one was like kind of, this might have been one of the ones made exactly for the button makers. 1.313, so I might have actually bought this one of the more expensive ones that was actually designed for, but then I got cheap and started doing the just standard ones, because the standard ones of course aren't going to come in like 1.31. Now for the largest one, the 2.25 1.25-inch button. You're actually supposed to use a 2.6 circle to go in that. But of course the largest, like, unless I get into those expensive custom ones, the best you can really do is the 2.5 inch, which is 2.5. So this is, like I said, they're going to be a little bit smaller, so I'm not 100% sure that it'll work. It does with the other two, which, you know, but they're smaller overall, so I'm not sure if the difference is as great, but we're going to find out. I did buy this. You can see it's a returned product. So I did get a pretty decent deal on this. I think it was like $14 or something like that. But that's what I'm actually going to try to use first. And if that doesn't work, then I will break this out and give this a try. But these have just never been as convenient for me than being able to just snap it straight out. I'm sure you can get what I'm getting at, because these you have to like put down and twist around. And it's just a little bit more work, and you know, I'm all about that convenience. So, but let's keep going. So here is our actual machine. So as you can see, this one is a little bit sleeker than that other one I showed you. So that's nice. And, yep. And it has a handle that just, and in the very bottom here is a magic painting book. I have no idea what this is. I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe this was just some sort of extra thrown in here. But it's, I don't know, it's a book full of bears. I don't know what's happening. Some blank pages. So I'm not real sure what this is about. I'm not sure what this is for. It says painting book, but the pictures are all already painted. I'm so confused. There's a bunch of blank ones. Yeah, there's blank pages in here too. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here are some that need painting. I don't know what this is. I'm spending too much time on this thing that has nothing to do with why we're here. But that's in the very bottom of this box. But here are the molds, and there's, like I said, 3 of them. Let's take one out. Oh, and they include a little sample one just to show that they did test it and it actually works. Like, it's not a real button, it's just a little to show that it bends everything over properly. Here's our top part, which will go in this top part. I just need to figure out which direction. Okay, so I love how light this one is. My other ones are so bulky and heavy. I know they already have the molds in them, but just the machines themselves are so bulky and heavy. I guess the difference is the machines are completely metal and this is plastic, but I actually like the plastic because it's much more convenient. But I don't know if you can see here, this has a little like thing right there, and then this part has a matching little pin, and you just put that pin right up into there and it's magnetic, and then it just snaps right in there. And then you can just pull it right back out when you want to change them. But you'll feel it. You'll feel the magnet like snap in there. So I like that. So far, so good. And then I just figured out the reason that this pin needs to come out and that one stays in is you need to be able to slide it in here. You need that pin out. And then, oh, guess I should have done that first because this thing, there we go, get it under there, there we go, and then slide that all the way over, and then let's see here, and then we drop the pin back in there, oh good, so that it won't unslide. So that's awesome. I don't even know, I think this is the 1 inch. Yep, so we're starting with the 1 inch. So actually what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip you around to Craft Vision, and we're going to, like I said, I have these for the 1 and the 1.25 inch. So I'm going to go cut out some images, and we are going to start with testing the 1 inch. We're going to test all 3 of them, but we're going to start with the 1 inch. So, oh, I love this. Okay, so let me just go do that right now. Okay. So I have cut out some scrapbook papers in my 3 different sizes. I actually pulled out one of my sets of the metal, the backing, and the Mylar from my original just to see if those do work, because those, just want to make sure you don't have to buy any special ones for them. Those are just the type that you can buy all over Amazon. Okay, and let's see here. So we have the two parts. This is part 1, and I am going to start with the set of materials. So we put the little metal thing in there. Our piece of paper, we got this cute little daredevil guy. As you can see, my hole punches make them just a little bit too small to like perfectly fit in there. So that does make the lining them up a little bit challenging, which is why a lot of times my pins are a little off-centered. But it's still, for me, it's just easier and more convenient. And then of course you have to use a piece of Mylar, and that goes right on top. And I line them up with these things, and I never get the pins on, the backings on straight, but we're gonna see if I can manage it this time. And also, with the Mylars, they're including all these little pieces of paper that are the exact right size. And I guess you could, you know, maybe draw on these or put stickers on these. So, and also I think if some things are too thin, they might need a little bit of extra thickness to work properly in here. So you might be able to want to use them for that if you run into that. But usually the cardstock from scrapbooking paper is thick enough, but we're going to find out. So I've got everything set up for our first slide. So we slide it all the way over till it's, you know, lined up. It won't go any further. And then we're just going to press down with our handle until you feel that snap. And then over here, move this over a little more, over here in the second one, we're going to put our pin back. And you put the pin back where the pin part, where you would pin it onto your clothing, faces downwards. If I can get that lined up properly. And again, I'm going to line it up with this thingy here and put it right like that. And then you just push it over so that that's now lined up, and you can see this one's gone because it's now up inside that top part of the mold that we had installed earlier. And we just press down. That was nice and smooth. And let's see how it came out. And here is our pin. Actually pretty good. And as always, I get my pin backs like a little crooked. I don't know if you can see, like right here is the front, but if I flip him around, my pin back is kind of slanted that way. And I have yet to figure out on any of these how to get them perfectly aligned. Like, I lined them up with these things on both sides, because you can see they have them on both sides, and somehow that still always comes out just a little bit crooked. But I don't think it matters. It doesn't affect the way you use your pin. It just affects the way that you would pin it on to get it to actually go straight. So that's with all of their supplies. Now I'm going to try with my original supplies just to see if this machine does work with, you know, all the other ones all over Amazon. So, and the thing is, like, these are the made in China machines, which are actually in millimeters, which are just a little bit off from the made in America ones, which are straight inches. So even though this is the 1 inch, I believe in millimeters, it's like, I want to say, is it 28? Is it 28 and then 32 and then 58? I think that's right. But it's just a fraction off of being exactly 1 inch. So there is a difference if you're buying American supplies versus the Chinese supplies. So you do have to pay attention to that, and it'll tell you in the listing. So let's see what we're going to do now. Let's do this one. And as you can see, because I'm using the stamps, it's not exactly the same. Actually, I can probably show you. Like, here is this, and here is what it's actually supposed to be. So you can see how it is just off just by a little bit, but it also does still work, and I just find those hole punches so much easier and more convenient. Okay, so let's see here, and here is my original Mylars. Move that over, and then the pin backs. Oh, I forgot to do this side. This side is always a little bit harder. Okay. Woohoo. And then the second one goes all the way down. And yes, it works perfectly with my other ones as well. So they are the same. So you can just buy the the ones off of Amazon. You don't have to necessarily buy these any specialty ones. So let's do one last one in this size, and then we'll move on. There we go. I did get him just off just a little bit, lost a little bit of the moon, but still cute. All right, so I'll be back in a minute and we'll do the next size. Next, we of course are going to be doing that 1.25 inch. I've pulled out that mold. Again, they give you this one even has the pin on the back, but they do give you a sample to show that it did work before it left the warehouse. And let me see if I can get this old mold out. So we would do that we'd start with popping out the pin. And they actually did provide an extra one of these pins in with the Mylars. There was, in that big bag of the Mylar and paper, there was an extra pin. And so far it appears each of the molds actually comes with its own pin as well. So there would be a total, because there's 3 molds, so 3 pins plus an extra pin just in case. So then we would just, we've got to pull that. Got to pull that all the way up. I don't know if you can see that, but that's dropped down like that. You got to pull that all the way up. So you got to line it up to get it all the way up. And then you can just pull that right out. And then, I forgot. And then of course we have to pull this one out. Put the larger one in, the same thing. It's got that little divot right there with the little pin that matches up to it. Sorry, I keep shaking the camera. And it just slips right into there, and then you'll feel the magnetic capture it there. And then you take the pin out. Already done that. And the side without the pin gets slid in here. You just got to get it under there. There we go. And drop the pin. I don't know if you can see where I'm dropping the pin here, but print it. I'm sliding all the way back out. We drop the pin right down in there, and then there we go. And we're ready to go. So start with the metal. And this one is, wow, okay, so for this size, my hole punch is an exact right match. Like that first one was a little bit too small, but this one is an exact right match. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. And then, what do I need? I need the Mylar. Where'd I put the Mylar? Careful not to lose things. I have stuff everywhere now. Oh my goodness. Don't want to lose those extra pins and stuff. Put the Mylar on. Slide that over. Put our pin again with the part where you would unhook it facing downwards. And then do our first one, which does not go all the way down. It goes about halfway down. And then the second one goes all the way down. And there we have her. Again, I keep getting these just a touch slanted on the back, but that's something that really bothers me, and perfect. I am so excited for this, guys. I'm so happy. I'm going to replace those 2 huge bulky ones that I already have. I'll just probably pass them on to friends. But I'll have a little extra room in my craft room to buy some more crafts I don't need and add to the collection. So. Oh, how awesome is that? I love this, guys. Okay, we've got one more of this size to do, and then we'll do the final one. Oh, and there we go. There we have our third one in that size. We only have one more size to go. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've pulled out the final mold. Again, they did a test one just to show you that they do work before it left the factory. And let me, oops, pull. Oh, I'm doing things out of order. You gotta pop out that pin. And then you gotta pull this thing up all the way. You gotta line it up so it'll go all the way up, because like if it's over to the side, it won't go all the way up. So you gotta make sure it's lined up, goes all the way up. You can just, you have to kind of push this little thing here past the kind of corresponding one there, because it's kind of just touching it, but you can push it right past there, pull it out, and then just pull to get rid of the top mold. As I said, just a little magnet in there. And again, we'll line up the little pin with the little hole in there. So you can see that, and you can feel it. And then we'll take this one, which, oh, they put the pin in that one right there. And we'll just slide that through and lift that up so we can get this underneath. Drop the pin back down. This one is huge. Like when I was contemplating getting the 2.25 inch, I didn't realize how much larger it was than the 1.25 inch, because you can see how they, like only 0.25 inch actually gets you that much bigger of a pin. And then now we're jumping to this 2.25 inch. Okay, let's see how my, oh, I forgot to, I'll be right back. I forgot to get my metal parts. Okay, and I just also looked up the listing because I completely forgot to do that before I started all this, because I was so excited to start playing with this. But you actually get 600 button things, enough to make 600 buttons. You get 200 of the smallest one, 300 of the medium size. Am I doing this right? Yeah, and then 100 of the largest size. So that's 600 total buttons. And the price for the whole set, where you get all 3 molds and 600 buttons, stuff to make 600 buttons, is $158. Although I know Amazon prices can go up and down. But at this moment of me filming, it's $158, and they also have a 5% off coupon, which would make it a little bit less. And just in comparison, my very first button machine was just over $100. My second one, which I did a video on way back, I think was maybe $80 or $90. So just those two together, I had already spent more than if I had seen this one and just bought this one with all 3 molds. So this is totally awesome. The price is excellent, because you would, if you to get all 3 sizes, like even if you were just to buy one of the machines and then buy the 3 molds, the molds usually run, like I said, almost as much as the entire set, and you don't get usually get the button pieces with when you buy just the molds. So you would probably still be spending close to $300 to get all 3 sizes, and you might not even be getting all the button parts. So this is a really good deal. I am so happy. I'm grateful to the seller. I believe it's called, pronounced Aiment. It's like A-I-M-E-N-T. I think that's the way it is. But of course I'll put it up on the screen, and I'll have the listing down below. But I am so grateful to them for sending this to me, because this is just so awesome. Plus I didn't have to buy that third one. Okay, so let's see how bad this is. Okay, so I may run into a problem with the 2.5 inch button thing, because there's a lot more room on this one than there was on, like, the one fit perfectly, the other one was still smaller like this, but this one has a lot more room around the edges, so I might have to use their provided cutter, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, you can see that there's just so much room around the edges. If I can get it centered right, it's possible it'll still work, because of course it's hard to get it centered right when it's so much smaller than the hole. But that's my fault for being lazy about all this. But we'll give it a try. We'll see if it actually works. I might have, like I said, I might have to actually use their the actual cutter, but we'll see. And same thing as always, make sure this part of the button where they have the little code is facing downwards. And let's see. The first one only goes halfway down, and then the second one goes all the way down. Okay, it actually did work. The Mylar was able to take it and bend it around. So even though my paper is cut a little bit too small, it still worked. It still came out. So, but I might have to rethink my hole punch for this size, because and I thought it might be because when I was like reading the sizes online, it seemed like it was closer for these two smaller sizes to when you got the hole punch, but I'm lazy and I wanted the ease of just a hole punch. Okay, so this one, it did cause a little bit of issues. You can see that my Mylar didn't quite cover it up there properly. But I do have one other idea, because they provided these papers. What if I took one of these papers, and if I can find my two-sided tape, I have a little bit of two-sided tape here. I'm going to put a little piece of two-sided tape, and then I'm going to take this. Oops. Sorry guys, I know I keep hitting the camera. And I'm going to try and center that. Look at that. This might be the way to do it, since they provided me with all those papers. That's awesome. But let's see if this will go through the machine, because, you know, I also run the risk of it now being too thick. But we'll find out. And their papers, of course, fit perfectly. And, oh, need our Mylar. And always the side down. Okay, that was a little bit harder to press, probably because of the extra thickness, but it did still disappear, so that's a good sign. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So I figured out a way to cheat the system, guys, because they provided me with all of these papers. Of course, once I run out of these papers, I'm gonna have to either get a better hole punch or give in and start using these. So, but yeah, perfect. I love it. So that is this button machine. Let's see here. And I'll be putting all this on the screen, but I just wanted to show you. It's Aiment, and it comes with all this stuff. And like I said, you get 200 of the small, 300 of the medium, and 100 of the large, so 600 sets total. Oh, and they do show the book in the listing, so the book is something that just comes with it. And you can see right now, at the time of me filming, it is $158, and you can save 5% with the coupon they currently have. But I mean, for that price, I know that's feels like a large initial investment, but I've already spent close to $200 on the two I have, and I didn't even have this huge button one. I was getting ready to spend another $100 so I could get one this size. So yeah, this would have, if I had found this first, this would have saved me money and space, because this is just, like I said, it's so much lighter, it's more compact. I appreciate that about it, because just show you this, my old one real quick. I mean, just look how huge this old one was. It has this like huge base, and the handle is so tall I can't even fit it underneath the camera. And you know, the same idea with the molds. And like I said, you can buy just molds, but they cost the same. They cost the same as buying the whole machine. And let me show you the other one that I had gotten, which is a slightly different design. but still pretty big and heavy. And this one is, this one flips around like that. So I really like this new one, and I am so happy to have this. I am so grateful to them for sending this to me, and I would 100% suggest this if this is something that you are looking for. And I'm honestly not even sure what the screws and the Allen wrench were for. I feel this type of handle is just so much easier than the other one, which I have to kind of, like this I could actually do, you know, easily sitting down at the desk. The other one I definitely have to stand for because the handle is so high up and it just has such a larger range of motion. I don't know, guys. I am so grateful to have received this. I love this so much. I am so happy about this. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, of course you can give me a thumbs down, and please tell me all about it in the comments below. And please subscribe to the channel. And I hope everyone is just staying happy, healthy, and safe in this incredibly crazy world we're living in. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.